Here is a quick tutorial on how customs brokers can use HTS Hero to classify quickly with confidence and with a specific highlight or focus on all the different features that are available inside of Classify. And so I think no better way to do this than to go through a practical example. And we start every classification off with a description of the item and we click Start. In this case, we are going over a carbon fiber bicycle frame. So let's do it. What's happening here, the first thing you'll see is the system is going and looking for candidates that sound most closely related or as closely as possible matching the item description. And so we get two here right away and we can quickly look at them. If we don't see anything we like, we can easily jump over to search and we can go through the entire HTS and just click on any heading, so any 4-digit HTS code, and we can click this button to add them over to that other screen. So you'll see 3 candidates, 4 candidates, 5, so it's adding them over to that view. We can also remove them from here if we like, but if we jump over to that page, you'll see here's the ones we've added in, which we can also quickly remove. Additionally, you can see the notes for any item in this pane or this section of the screen at any time. And so chapter notes for chapter 87, in this case, both of these belong to 87, so we can click to view the chapter notes and we get the PDF viewer right away, no download required, and you can go through to see maybe definitions for things, see what the chapter doesn't cover, etc. So very nice there. You can also, if you want to, click to view the element itself in the Explorer. So this will open up the search tab once we click this button and jump right to this element. So you'll see that here. This lets you quickly sort of just get context around the parents that lead up to this item. Again, you can click to the notes and just see sort of the children, the parents, all of that. So just more context for you. All right. Once we see one we like, let's just click this one that was suggested. So parts of this heading, which happens to be parts of bicycles, which makes sense here for the bicycle frames. We jump to the next level. And at this point, there's no more going and really searching around, because once you've chosen the heading, then you're just picking the items that are the children of the item that came before it. And so in this case, is this parts of motorcycles? Is this parts of carriages for disabled persons, or other makes sense here? We're really looking for parts of bicycles, so we'll just proceed and click that. And you'll notice here at each level we get this analysis from the system that tries to give you some context on an option that sounds good or just information in general that would be useful for you to do your classification. So in this case, the sort of context that we get is the item description specifies a carbon fiber bicycle frame, which directly corresponds to the description, frames and forks and parts thereof. So I agree. In this case, all of these options here are just different parts of bicycles. In this case, so brakes, saddles, etc. So frames makes sense. And then we've got one more here, and frames also, I believe, is just a good option here. We'll just click through to that one. And then finally, here's an interesting one. We've got a level where we have to make a selection where the item description itself did not include any information about the value of the frames. And so the system tries to do as good of a job as it can to find you an option or analyze. However, if there was no information in the description, it's really just guessing. So you'd have to either talk to the client or maybe you know yourself what the value was for the item. So in this case, let's just say it's not valued over 600 each and other. In this case, we've gotten all the way down to our 10-digit code and made that final selection. We can copy that if we want to use it elsewhere. We see a full breakdown of the decisions we made from all of the decisions on the left-hand side here, which we can also, by the way, jump back up and go back through these to change our selections if we wanted. We also get the tariff details, and we can see any special rates that apply. We can see trade agreements, and this will just pop open the PDF of these trade agreements, and you can read through these to see if the item applies and can qualify for the special rate. And then finally, you can click a download report button, and that will generate a report of this classification for you just in PDF format. A cool thing about this is if you've uploaded your company logo or your logo to your profile and you've uploaded a disclaimer or legal text to your profile, it'll take that logo and that text and it'll insert it into the PDF. And so in this case, you can see the logo that we have for demonstration purposes is just HTS Hero, but you can imagine this being your company logo, for example. We get a whole summary of the classification at a high level, and then we go through each level and the elements that were there that we could have selected from, and the reason why one of them was selected. So there's that disclaimer at the end, and that is a very quick overview. Maybe the one thing we skipped by was if you did not want to go through and click manually searching through this Explorer while you're looking for headings, you can also do things like just type in frames, and in this case you maybe get, in this case you get bicycle frames right away. So that could save you some time because you can just jump back up and know that 8714 is the parent of frames in this case, and maybe that's the one you want to use for your heading. So you don't have to click through one by one down through the tree. You can search directly. And then lastly, here are just the general notes, all the notes of the HTS, so the GRI notes, rates of duty notes, and all the other notes in here, including your general statistical notes. That's all. Any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. We always get great feature suggestions from our users, so we're always looking to improve the product for all of you guys, all you brokers out there. So take care, talk soon.